3, 2, 1. There he goes, counting again.
Okay.
Why do you count into the engine room show thing? Because it's like a thingamajig to say, hey, we're all starting. Welcome to the engine room. It's Dave, and Cooper. What's up, mofos?
Hi, everybody. Professionalism knows no bounds.
There's nothing professional about this. We don't get paid for it.
Do we not?
No, we don't. We don't get paid for it.
Oh.
Hey, listen, if you get paid for it, you can pay for the
So
fucking
what's on the show this week, guys? What's on the show?
You do anyway.
I'll tell you what's on the show this week. If it's okay with you guys, want to talk about my experience in a diesel car.
Oh God, how did that go?
Interestingly, it went really well. Because Audi, in their wisdom...
designed the car specifically for you.
Foolishness.
Yes. They decided that they could convert me from my irrational but very logical hatred of the diesel engine.
Now,
is this the same hatred that I have for overpowered supercars and big expensive cars? I just think they're ridiculous and I'll never drive one. Don't you ever try and get me in one. I think they're ridiculous. Same.
I see what he's doing.
Yeah.
Reverse psychology.
I was slightly consulted on this,
yes.
And I didn't think it would be possible.
You,
Such is the level of hatred.
Yeah. You, and I guess I, were wrong.
Really?
Because that car is possibly the nicest car I've ever driven. Best performing. I don't mean luxury.
Better than your mum's A-Class. They got landed
Even
on by
better.
a donkey.
Horse, yeah, even better than my mum's A-Class.
Better than that RX-8 that you keep rambling on about all the time.
It was a very close run thing. It was a very close one. The RX-8 was the most fun I'd had in a car
since you were 13.
Up until this point.
Did it have more nerdy stats and bits and pieces on it than a Toyota GT86?
Oh, far more. Like, the nerdgasm level was through the roof.
Really?
Like, for example, on the when the center console comes down off the dashboard and goes down flat by your leg.
What? As in robot?
Who?
Robots?
No. So you know, in the car,
it moves.
No, in the car you have a dashboard.
Yeah.
And then you have the bit where your handbrake and gear stick is. If
Yeah.
you have a handbrake and gear stick. Some cars.
You just said it comes down, it rolls.
No,
back
it
and I'm
has
like,
in.
How is it doing that?
Anyway, on the center console,
Yeah.
you have a pad, a touch pad, a track pad, and it's got numbers on it for the radio. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and you go, that's cool, that's my numbers for the radio. And then you switch to your telephone or your sat nav and the numbers disappear. And you realise there weren't any numbers on that. They were projected onto it. Why? Because now it takes in my handwriting if I'm looking for a location or a person's contact.
Get the fridge and hell out of here.
Honest to jeepers. Then there's the reversing camera, which isn't a reversing camera. There are 6 cameras on the car.
Now, is this the reversing camera that locates the nearest satellite and takes an image and a live feed from the camera on the satellite and feeds down where you is so you can see what's going on around the actual vehicle?
That's what you think happens because
Is it that the NSA help you park?
Yes. It looks like that, except it seems to somehow work in car parks. I don't know. I'll tell you why.
Witchcraft.
Because it combines the 6 images into one image.
I heard that all this technology came from a guy called Snowden who's looking for some sort of...
And it also plonks
Looking for a holiday home.
Yeah.
a colour-coded, computer-generated version of your car, your A6, onto the black bit in the middle that doesn't have any picture because all the cameras are facing out, obviously. And then it gives you an overhead view of your car. It's like you're 30
in your
feet
car
above it, looking down on top of yourself. So parking is the easiest thing you've ever had to do. And this car isn't small, but you can fit it right in between the white lines because you can actually see them. But anyway, all of this is irrelevant because none of this matters. What matters is the engine. This is a diesel car.
Yeah.
This is what I hate about cars. I hate diesels and I hate turbos. This is a diesel that has 2 turbos, so I should really hate it.
You should doubly hate this.
But I don't. Because it doesn't feel like a turbo, because there are 2 turbos, and because there are 650 something Newton meters of torque.
Like Newton off of science?
Like Newton off of
Exactly
science.
like
Double high
Newton of science.
five! There's my pros.
Yeah.
So, what that means is, there's power all the way, and that's my thing with diesels, is like, turbo lag, I want to overtake, oh no, I get overtake too far, slow down. This is, no, it's not the case.
You should drive my car, it's got no turbo.
Well,
It's just
there you
like,
go.
here we go.
Also, that is one of the things I absolutely detest about
The
diesel
noise.
cars is
The noise.
Why
Right.
do they make that noise?
it's the way the engines are built. It's just that's how they operate. Now,
It's the stuff that goes on inside that makes the noise.
yeah, you can refine your diesel engine, as many manufacturers have done, and there are manufacturers who will come and tell us, Audi, I'm sure, are no strangers to this, will say, oh, well, we have a diesel engine that is, makes less decibels than a petrol engine, whatever. It's a
I
different
have
noise.
driven this same car. This
No.
is a
Cooper.
Nothing sounds like
Here's
this
the
car.
thing. I think what they've actually done here is they have deadened the sound. They've insulated the engine in the sense that because you can't
Like a
hear,
sound booth.
yeah, you can't really hear the engine because the noise from the car comes from the back, the exhaust, not from the engine in front of you. And there are
Like a real car.
like a real car, yes.
Yeah.
And there are 5 settings for what they call car. Okay, the two that matter, there's loads of them, but the two that matter are comfort and dynamic. Comfort, honestly, changes the suspension. It changes the dynamics of the car. It feels wallowy and wafty and nice and
Luxurious.
boatish.
Like an old American bouncy mobile.
Not quite bouncy, no, but certainly if you're going over a bumpy road, comfort's the one to be in.
Yeah, I got that on the bike as well, though, which
Yes.
is amazing.
With the other one they have, dynamic, stiffens the suspension, improves everything I think about the car. It changes the noise. It changes the noise out of the exhaust because the noise out of the exhaust is fake. That you have speakers in the exhaust. So when you have it on comfort and you rev the car, it goes like a nice V6. And when you change the dynamic, it goes
Get that front door and shut it!
like a V8.
So
It
the
is-
speakers in the exhaust.
Yes, and I've also, in the meantime, since I've handed the car back, I've watched a documentary about Audi sound.
I'm totally putting a ice cream ringtone in that thing.
And
Ding 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 ding.
Audi actually have signature corporate sounds. Okay, so if an Audi's using a movie, they have a bank of sounds all ready to go. They don't have to record
Because
the audio.
I hate when they have the wrong sound on cars. Because
So,
it does happen.
a
it
Ford
happens in so many
Fiesta
movies.
takes off and all of a sudden it has a Viper V10 engine
Yes.
or
I'm the
whatever.
same with which most movies have guns. I hate when they use the wrong sound.
Pachow, pachow.
Doesn't happen.
Anyway, so this thing has speakers in the exhaust. I cannot tell you the difference that makes to the car because even though you know the trickery is there,
You don't care.
You don't care because I finished my blog on theengineroomshow.com.
Spit it
There's a
out.
blog about this. I finished it with this sentence, and this is what I will say here to finish this part of the show. At no point driving that car did I think I was in a diesel. And you can't give it a more ringing endorsement than that.
I can see this on calendars, those like wisdom thoughts for the day, and then people post them on Facebook
Yeah.
as their thought for the day.
A sunset and then just this white writing.
I
on it.
can't believe
Yeah.
it's not petrol.
I can't believe it's not petrol.
Genius. I love the idea though of speakers in the exhaust because they were doing that in Pimp My Ride back in the 90s, yeah. And I loved that.
It's 90, but yeah.
Whatever. Back in the day, old school. Keep it real, man. Keep it real, bro. Was 90s, late 90s. The American one.
People can hear you whispering.
It definitely wasn't.
Let
That phone out.
Pimp My Ride was
Oh.
definitely not the 90s, no.
No, it's definitely 2000.
Anyway.
Your point was,
Yeah, they got some car. I don't know what it was. Anyway, they pimped it and made it look amazing, and they put in a speaker system, like underneath the car, and you could choose any car sound. So, like your man was able to drive a car that sounded like an F1 car, or you could make it sound like an F350 bloody pickup truck or a train, whatever they want. I like that.
Yeah.
And I think they need to put that. I'm going to throw this out there on those dangerous electric cars that make no sound.
It's a whole other day's discussion.
Yes.
But yeah, you wouldn't have any argument from either of us.
Well, we could
You
discuss
hate
it
electric
now and
cars
forget
anyway.
about the rest of the show. But
Ah,
obviously,
no.
not.
no, because I've got
Cooper's brought a friend
coming
coming in. Cooper?
Okay, no, I have no friends.
No, Humphreys.
You are my
is
friends,
coming
aren't you?
in. Yeah,
Okay.
of course you are.
All right, bring
Well,
in
let's
your
get to
friends.
Humphreys' friend. We're not
This
really
week
talking about
on the Engine Room Show, we have a guest, which is my good friend Simon Kelly.
Simu!
Thank you.
Simon Kelly is a very resourceful man.
Oh,
Go on.
can he get us things? Can you get us cake?
Yes.
Awesome!
Where is the cake? Because our last guest, she just
no, that's
failed.
not going to work.
Why?
That's this week. This is this week.
I'm very confused.
You're very confused.
We just did the episodes backwards.
Just like my
So you
counter.
can't reference the future.
Okay.
Unless you've got a time machine.
I got a time
He
machine.
doesn't.
Okay.
You could be talking about any random last guest.
No, we've only had one female guest and she's in the future.
Okay, did you bring cake?
I didn't bring cake, but I can get you cake, and I will get you cake, and that's a commitment.
Wow.
See
What
that?
kind
He
of
used the
cake do
C
you
word
use?
right there. Not that C word, the other C word.
Come-
What kind of
Commitment.
cake do you want?
Yeah.
I thought that was with a cake.
I'm a big fan of
Biscuit cake.
ginger cake. Ginger cake in all of its forms. The
Jamaican
moister,
ginger
the
cake.
better. Yeah, Jamaican ginger cake is a good, cheap kind of supermarket job. But if you can get those ones, in fact, Starbucks often Humphreys brings me to coffee shops. He's that kind of guy, and you can get a ginger cake in there that's very moist.
I think you're mistaking Starbucks for McDonald's.
No, he brought me to the Mac Cafe this morning.
Other Mac cafes are available by other names.
Yeah.
Costa and all that.
Also,
No, I'll get you an engine room ginger cake.
nice.
Custom made.
What about me? I want a cake.
Yeah,
Yeah, well, I just asked
ginger cake.
openly what kind of cake you want.
Biscuit cake.
Okay.
Do you
I
know what
really thought you would have gone for ginger cake.
No, because I am ginger. I have enough ginger in my life.
I was kind of not making that joke, but making that joke in the same.
You've got a
sense.
ginger beard.
I
some
do,
of
and
it.
I'm proud of it.
Yeah.
Some of
Viking
it's,
like.
some of it's white as well.
But
Viking like.
Super proud.
don't you think that red velvet is a bit over exaggerated? That cake, that red velvet sponge.
Oh, I'm not a fan of that at all.
Me
I'd say.
neither. Like everybody was going on about it, and it was brought down to my house, and I was just like, it's just sponge and bread.
Anyway.
What would you do?
So apart from cake, you obviously have another reason to be here.
I do indeed. We're going on a bit of a holiday, myself and Dave. It's a nice trip to the sun, but we're going to do a bit of running, so less car stuff and more kind of physical exercise. with Dave.
Sorry, you're saying physical exercise and you're including Dave Humphreys in the same sentence. I have an issue with that because I know it's not going to happen.
This
Unless,
is like a stand-up comedy show.
Yeah.
how are you
Bad one.
going to make him run?
Well, the motivation is bulls. Lots of bulls.
Red Bulls.
Ah, okay.
Angry Bulls.
Angry Bulls.
Real
Angry
bulls with horns
Very big bulls. with
and
horns.
missions
Yes.
to gore you.
Yes.
Are you doing the Spanish Bull Run?
I'm doing the Pamplona Bull Run with Simon, which I agreed to do back in January, which in January, several months ago, seemed like a good idea.
And
The
very
fact
far
that-
away.
The fact that it is now
You were a year
Saturday, it is now Saturday, and that we will be doing the Bull Run, it's a little bit more kind of
Real.
real.
And terrifying.
Slightly.
Simon, are you worried?
I'm worried for Dave.
Yeah. Excellent.
Yeah.
But there's a lot of, area to be,
there's a lot
pronged.
yeah.
you know.
There's a lot that can go wrong. So much so, we've gotten an awful lot of help from the good old Spanish brand Seat.
Very
Seat
good.
cars are giving us an Ibiza Cupra,
Nice.
which will be going driving from Barcelona to the Bull Run.
And Pamplona is where in northern Spain.
Pamplona is, yes, it's kind of about 4 hours west of Barcelona.
Would you not have just flown there?
There isn't an airport in Pamplona, Cooper,
Well,
and
get a say as a
therefore
Ibiza.
we wouldn't be able to get a say to Ibiza Cooper and drive there. You see,
I see what you've done
all
there.
part of
I
the
see the
magical
way they've
plan.
turned his holiday into some sort of promotional driving trip.
Yeah, which is
Seat
clever.
have also
Yeah.
been very resourceful in that they have planned everything in the case of my possible death. So they fitted a tracker to the car so that they can locate it if I don't bring it,
Of course.
and have a spare key on hand. It's always good when you have a meeting about your potential death.
Are you serious?
Yeah,
I love that they don't even trust me to bring back the
no, there's no way. Yeah.
they're thinking we both might die, so they have every contingency plan
And
sorted.
where, apart from obviously getting to drive, say, to beat the Cooper across some Spanish roads, where the motivation for this whole idea? Because I mean, it's something we all know about, but I certainly am not.
We always see
going
the
to.
videos of people dying and
Well, not dying, but certainly
Being-
being terrified by giant 2-ton animals.
And being hurt by giant 2-ton animal horns.
Yeah. Why?
I think myself and Dave share a similar opinion that we need to do something stupid every so often just to make everything else feel alright.
We really can't. We can't, emphasize the word "stupid" there quite enough. When it comes to this. Yes.
No, a challenge doing something different and just trying, it's funny, my dad is really like, he was asked, oh, what do your parents think of this? And my dad's real factual and real kind of, he's into the numbers, so he started asking me, well, how many people have died? It's 15, Dave.
Okay.
And
Since like what?
since 1910.
Okay, so
So it's one
I
every
don't like
kind of
those
3
odds.
It's one every 3 years or so, and then
When was the last
work
person
out,
killed?
2007.
One is due.
So really we have statistically, when you work out over all the years, a 0.002 chance of getting killed. So it's pretty low.
Okay, that's
it's
low.
safe. It's safe.
It's certainly
that's
a lot.
getting-
That's a
that's
lot
getting
lower than
killed.
driving your car home from recording this podcast.
Yeah.
You've more chance of dying from a bull than you do of winning the lottery.
I think you find out the donkeys, but same.
I'm just trying to scare him.
Oh right.
Jeez, Dave.
Well, if you to put it in perspective as well, though, I say that people who get killed, but 300 people are seriously injured every year.
Every year.
Every
300
year.
every year. And there's
Yeah.
only like 320 people who do it.
No, there's about 2,000 do it each day, and they do it for 7 days.
Yeah,
of the
oh yeah,
festival,
no,
every morning. So we're doing 2 just to bring up those rates
But
a
you're
bit
doing
more.
2. Oh right. Did Humphreys know you were doing 2? He doesn't look like it.
I genuinely didn't know the fact that there's 300 people injured every day.
Every year.
Or every year.
Every year.
I love that Dave didn't know research. Dave's
No.
coping mechanism is I
I
don't want to
yeah.
know.
La,
Close
la,
my
la, la,
eyes.
la, la.
I sorted out the car. That's what I do.
Brilliant.
Brilliant.
I think you're very brave idiots.
Yep.
Can they go
Simon,
together?
Simon is also a very brave, fit idiot.
Yeah.
Well, you know, you've got energy,
Yeah.
but that's fake energy, like
Yeah.
MSG energy.
Yeah.
Like you get
Caffeine
that.
energy.
Yeah, caffeine.
It's only 827 meters. See, I've done some research
Okay.
on like our,
827
less than
minutes.
a
Well, I
Yes,
know it's a 4.5 hour drive from Barcelona to Pamplona.
for a 4-minute run away from big bulls who are trying to gore you.
Hey, 4 minutes and 826 meters.
There's a lot of other people in your way.
Oh crap! I would freak out now if I couldn't get by anybody who was struggling.
Oh no, that's the key to it. It's not like the
This is
you
like,
will be
do you
able
know
to
what?
run away from the bull if it was you and all of the bulls.
But the
But
bull
it's
can
you
catch
and
up.
1,999 other people down a narrow street in Pamplona.
This is kind of like a really... Obviously, through my job, I travel an awful lot, which means I'm in airports an awful lot, which means that this is like a really, really extreme version of which queue in the security area to pick. Because you walk in, you kind of go, a lot of kids, that's going to be tricky. Elderly people, they won't know what to do. You got to look for the guys in suits because they travel all the time. This is like a really extreme version of that.
Yeah, well, I think like Dave's right about running. You can outrun a bull. The average speed is like 15 miles an hour. So you could potentially outrun it with a kind of racing spikes on a tartan track.
Yeah.
But they are cobblestones, and there is other people. And there's a guy who ran last year. I don't know if he's running this year, but he ran his 40th run last year at the age of 72. So you don't want to get stuck behind him.
No.
He's been gored twice in his
Yeah.
career of running,
Yeah.
and still
Yeah.
keeps running. So there are some other idiots out there sharing similar.
Oh, this is gonna be great.
Can't wait for the base jumping next year.
Yeah, I'm just processing all those stats in my head right now.
Well, it's all going to be videoed, so we have evidence. And
Oh, it is
like,
going
we
to
could
be video.
be,
Yes.
Oh, fantastic.
Are
Yeah,
you gonna wear any protection?
yeah, we've got whites.
Yep. All white.
yeah.
A red,
got
a
the
red bandana.
Now you know the bulls are colourblind.
They are, but
It's the
you
motions
bring
of
you bring the apparently the
I-
there's etiquette for it. You have to bring the day's newspaper, which apparently if you're in trouble you wave a newspaper at the bull.
Yeah, because that will
that's gonna help.
definitely help.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Charging huge animals. Yeah, I'll wave a newspaper at you.
But that's the tradition, and you wear your whites with your red. Once you get into the ring, if you get that far, because you can kind of bail out under fences. But once you get in the ring, there's like proper matadors in there who entice the
Distract the
bulls
bull and
to
get them away
a
from
certain
you.
place, and then you get free entry into the bull ring. So it's basically a really high risk way of getting free into a gig.
And you should do that with Bieber concerts.
And on that note, gentlemen,
Yes.
thank you, Simon. Thank you for coming in. I wish you all the best.
On that note, possibly we should do 2 endings. Tune in next week to the Engine Room.
Or tune in next week for the engine room without Dave Humphreys.
It's been great presenting the Engine Room. I've really enjoyed getting to know you guys over the last year, and I'm happy now to go.
It has been fun, and I think
Yeah.
you've led a good,
I had a
fruitful
good
life.
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
but I think one of the most amazing things I find about you, this is your
Eulogy.
your Google,
You Google.
You Google-izer.
You Googly.
is that your vanity exceeds
Yes.
all the levels. The fact that next week's episode you're wearing a different jumper,
Yes.
but you brought another jumper to change into for
Yes.
this one, so people would think that you're
We
not recording
actually
this at the
recorded
same
everything.
day.
So everyone else is in the same clothes.
Yeah.
Like, because next week's episode
Just makes you guys look
it's
like
done
scruffy
already.
bastards.
I don't care.
Yeah. You've
Right,
got
well,
bigger issues.
Enjoy the bull run.
Yes.
I mean, what can we say?
Well, there's 2 extra seats, so there's still a chance.
Or
No.
say a paying. I'll do it if say it a paying.
You'll do anything if say it pay.
No, I will do it if say it a paying. I'll do it.
Yeah, say it paying.
Are they?
Yeah.
What day is it?
We go on Saturday.
I can't. No, I'm to DJ on Saturday night.
We didn't give you the dates, though.
No.
Which
Every Saturday I DJ. So my DJ
Oh,
nights
can you
are
not
Thursday,
get somebody
Friday,
else to plug in your iPod? Zing!
Ah, brilliant.
Yes.
Oh,
We're running
Yeah.
on Monday as well.
Yeah.
You could come over on Sunday and
I
join
can come
us.
over on the Sunday and
I hate
join.
running. I hate Mondays. Mondays are gonna get a whole lot worse now.
One of the 2-ton animals after you with its giant horns. That is the Engine Room Show, ladies and gentlemen. You can check us out on our website, Dave Humphreys is dead because of a bull.com.
For the funeral arrangement, see rip.ie.
So-
Enjoy it, girls.
You're gonna feel so bad if I am actually killed.
I don't get emotional about death. It's really
Really?
weird.